So God could not allow the rain to fall. So we saw how Jesus in John chapter 6 verse 1, how he practiced management. He grouped the people, administration, fish and bread, resources. That is what he had at that time. He thanked God, appreciation, and he broke it. Gave the disciples to distribute, delegation, divided it among the people, and they were satisfied. Customer service. So we saw Jesus, and the leftovers were picked, and there were 12 full baskets. And this week I listened to Priscilla, this lady who ministers with the Joel Austin, the church where Joel Austin ministers. She was saying that the disciples were tired, and God gave them the responsibility of serving these people. And the leftovers, 12 baskets, they were given. So God gave them that. So our God is a good manager. So we are continuing from where we left, and we say that management is diligent, being diligent with the resources. When we read the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 22, someone to read for us. The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 22. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22. Who is there?
Bible says,
yes.
A good man leaves an inheritance for his children.
Yes.
But a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous.
Yes, a good man leaves his inheritance, his children. Now, some of us here, some of us are married, some of us are still single. Do we have anything that we're going to leave for our children? Inheritance. Do we have anything? Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves his inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of sinners is laid up for the just. That part, that the wealth of the sinners is laid for the just, we continually sing it, but we don't get that wealth because most Christians are bad managers. We should pray, we should ask God to help us to be good managers so that God can give us this wealth that the sinners are having. Praise God. So if you're a good man, a good person, child of God, we should work hard so that we can leave inheritance for our children's children. A car is not an inheritance. Clothes is not an inheritance. It is not. Praise God. When we look at the lives of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the children of Israel, God was promising them a land. Praise God. A real estate. Land is a real estate. A land is an inheritance that you can leave to your children. The only heritage that the Bible nearly teaches is a real estate. For example, Abraham, Isaac, Moses, Jacob, God gave them land. Land is the only estate that is real. Is it true? Is it true? Yes, land is the only estate that is real. When you have the title deed of a land, you are a real estate owner. So we should not brag about clothes. I'll give my children clothes. I have so many clothes. No. I have so many cars. No. Do you have a land that you can give to your children? And there is the example of Abraham, Isaac can really tell us that. So when we read the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 5. The book of Matthew, so may God help us to acquire land so that we can live to our children's children. When you have a land, you build like ni land ama rental. At least uko sure ukipata mtu ame rent, you will have something at the end of the month. Baraka, no, it is not an inheritance. Matthew chapter 5 verse 5. Yeah, what does it say? Yes. They shall inherit the earth. And the earth is the real estate. Earth. Where we step on. This is the earth where we live. It is a real estate. A land. You inherit a land. So meaning of meek in Greek is self-discipline, self-strength, controlled power. The meaning of meek, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So meek means self-discipline, self-control, controlled power, controlled strength. So we can, where there is meek, we can insert these words. Blessed are those who have self-control. Blessed are those who have controlled strength. Blessed are those who have controlled power. Praise God. So when you have controlled strength, you have controlled power, you have self-discipline. Umeamua ya kwamba within this period I want to do this, and I want to keep certain amount of money to buy a land, and you are self-disciplined. Then you are blessed. Blessed are those who have self-control, who are self-disciplined, who don't buy expensive dress, car, who do not get out every night to eat in the hotel, who do not go to clubs and waste the money, but invest their money in property that shall bring inheritance to their children. So, you say, blessed are those who have self-control, who are self-disciplined, who don't buy expensive dresses, who don't buy expensive cars, who don't go out every night to eat in their hotels, who don't go to the clubs and waste the money, but invest their money properly. They shall inherit what? The land. Praise God. So when we have self-discipline, we have controlled power, we shall inherit what? The land, because we invest our money properly. We need to save even in tough conditions. And he was giving his own story. When the time he married, he did not have anything. And then the mother-in-law and father-in-law told him to go and stay in their home, which I know most of us cannot do that. He told him that, come, let's stay. So they stayed there for like 4 years, and they were saving because their salary was like so little. So they saved for 4 years, and that after 4 years, they bought a land. And now they are multi-billionaires because they saved. Aliamua kuweka wanaume kando na kuishi na mother-in-law because they didn't have anything. So in our situation, maybe it's difficult because we can't to stay with mother-in-law, but you can say that I want to stay in a small house for some time so that I can save, so that one day I'll buy a land and build my own. Rather than staying in a house that you're earning 10,000, you're staying in a house of 6,500. You see, that is not wisdom. Praise God. So we need to know how to maneuver our ways when we are in tough conditions. When you lost job, you need to know how to go about it. So for those who are in businesses, when we get money, we should not spend it all on ourselves, but get it back to the business. And it has been a real problem, even to us that are in business. You find that you want to do this, forgetting that you're supposed to buy certain items that are needed in business. So, may God help us, those who are in business, that we may circulate the money and not use it for our own benefits. even if you're using it, you use a small bit, then the other bit should go back to the business, so that we can invest our money in the business. Business is thy land. Praise God. Praise God. So let's go back to Proverbs 13:22, where we say that a good man leaves his inheritance to children's children, and the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. God says to his own people, yes, the wicked have your money. It is true, the wicked has our money. The wicked, they put the world, they have our money. It is true. But how will we get that money from them? This is a mark of disgrace to us believers. Imagine God is saying that the wicked has your money and you're a believer. Kwa nini Mungu anakupea hiyo pesa, anapea the wicked? Why? Why do you think God is giving the wicked and not giving us? Any answer? Why do you think? The Bible says in Proverbs 13:22 that the wicked has the riches of the godly. Why? Any answer? Why do you think the wicked has our money? Any trial? Any person to try? Waliiba kabla sijaenda. Yes, Melvin? Yes, it is true. Clap for Melvin. What did you clap for? You're disagreeing with the answer.
So you want, like you're telling me, leave salvation, I go because I can.
No, I didn't say anything like that.
From the
I didn't say anything like that.
No, they have the capacity
To manage.
to manage.
Yes.
No, we are not managers.
Most Christians are not managers.
Any proof?
Yes.
Let him continue. I'll prove. So-
that is the answer.
No, yeah, that is the answer. Most Christians are poor managers. That's why you find most of us are poor. You are